Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at the new Lego Ninjago Dragons Rising Kai's Elemental Fire Mech set. This is set number 71808. It has 322 pieces, and I paid $30 for this set. I've already looked at the Cole's Elemental Earth Dragon that released on January 1st along with this one, and I also have the Sora Mech that released, that there's some interplay and some potential for swapping parts and some different modularity between these three. So I'll eventually look at all three of them, but I decided to look at this one and see what it has here. So in this video I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So, until then, enjoy! Okay, so while we look at the build process for this Lego Ninjago Dragons Rising Kai's Elemental Fire Mech, I just wanted to say thanks for watching, and then remind you, if you like this video, click the thumbs up. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. That stuff helps me a bunch. We start out building the kind of side build here. It's a smaller mech with, pretty distinct colors and stature, and it's kind of a side build, but it's also a big part of the set, so I do spend a good amount of time talking about that in the full review. And now we move on to Kai's Fire Mech here. So we use some of the same parts that we used on Cole's and Sora's to build the torso and the kind of waist and hip area there. So we add that, then we start working on the legs, which are done pretty much the exact same but mirrored a little bit. And then onto the next bag of pieces, the last bag of pieces, we have another minifigure here, and then we start building the feet, which I ended up really liking these feet. They're very wide, but I like that a lot. It feels very stable. And then we work on building the arms and some accessories for the mech. Overall, this came together relatively quick. There's not a ton of pieces here, but this one's really strong. I think all three of these elemental mechs are strong, so I'll talk about that more in my full review. So now on to my review for this set. Okay, so here we have Lego Ninjago Dragons Rising Kai's Elemental Fire Mech set. So this is really awesome. I've already looked at and done videos for Cole's Elemental Earth Mech and Sora's Elemental Tech Mech. This is the other one that released alongside of it that has some compatibility with certain things. This one is a little more expensive than those other ones. It does have quite a few more pieces. It does have an extra kind of side buildy type mech here that isn't really, the name doesn't say anything about it. It's not like Kai's Elemental Fire Mech versus Wolf Mask Warrior Mech or anything like that. But the Wolf Mech is definitely a part of this. And so there's a lot of things to look at in this set, so we will get right into it. And the first thing we'll look at is the minifigures here. So the first one we have is Kai. And again, this is kind of the older but newer kind of cowl face mask piece, where the headband and the mouth mask or face mask is all dual molded with kind of the hood and everything. We can see underneath there Kai's eye printing there with some extra detail. We also have another look, alternate face without the kind of eye black on there, so that's really nice. I do like these helmets or masks more than the ones from the first wave of Dragons Rising, where the kind of face mask part was separate from the hood on the top. So I do like this a lot more. They do have a katana here, as an accessory, which is nice. Looking at the minifigure, really good detail. I got some of that like metallic gold all throughout there. Kai's kind of logo. We have printing on the midsection, printing on the legs, which is very nice. Even some very kind of hard to see printing on the feet there, just because of the contrast of those colors. But lots of good stuff here. No printing on the arms at all, but that's okay. And then looking at the back here, we have a really nice detail. Lots of fine lines going on in there, lots of nice dots, nice like gradients, some shading, lots of really good stuff there, with all the gold printing. So that's very nice. I am always pretty impressed with Ninjago minifigures, and this one's no different. I like this a lot, and like I say, I prefer this kind of headpiece, although they don't have the like back piece that can then hold the katanas. That's okay. There are separate pieces that can do that, and we will look at one with the next character right now. So besides Kai, you get another Ninjago character here, and that is Zane. So I'm a big fan of, well, you know, I've been saying this about, I said it about Sora, I said it about Cole. I guess I didn't say it about Kai, but I think it's true for Kai as well as it is for Zane. I really like the color scheme here. I like kind of the white and kind of light blue, kind of icy look. So I've really liked some of Kai's sets from different waves or this is Zane. Zane's sets from different waves. I think there was a Zane's bigger mech that was a really good deal, I thought, and a really fun build, so I liked that a lot. But anyway, we have Zane here. Again, they have the katana. Again, they have the dual molded kind of mask and hood piece there. We can see Zane's face underneath there, and kind of a unique minifigure head color, and kind of that pearl silver gray looking bit there, but really nice printing for the face there. Looking at the alternate side, we can see it without the kind of eye black and everything. And then Zane does have a kind of pauldron here on just one side, and so that goes around the neck, and it can have a katana on the back, you know, stored in there. I think the one that is with the mouth, or like the mouth cover on it, has, you know, spots for two kind of katanas to go through there. So this is different style of one, but I like that, so that's very good. I'll actually take that off so we can get a better look at the torso and the back of the torso here. So looking at Zane then, love the colors here. Lots of fine, very thin lines going out through there for like the robes and different stuff, and some armor, metallic printing with the gold, and a little bit of like, maybe not silver necessarily, but mostly just gold. We do have printing on the midsection there, printing on the legs down to the feet. It's a little bit easier to see that on this one. No printing on the arms. The back of this does have some similar printing to the back of Kai, and you know, some subtle differences there in like what's kind of written on the back, but overall really strong minifigure here. So you get two Ninjago characters in this, or like two of the, you know, main Ninjago characters, and then you do get a wolf mask warrior, which one of these kind of came in the Cole's Elemental Earth Mech set and the Sora's Elemental Tech Mech set. So one is also in Kai's Elemental Fire Mech. And this one has kind of this curved blade, almost scimitar looking thing as an accessory. We've already seen this kind of wolf mask head piece here, dual molded, really nice production work, reminds me of Lord Ra's. If you've seen my other videos about the other elemental mech sets that release alongside of this, I do look at the wolf mask figures as well. Really good printing for the face here, and we also have an alternate print for the face, super detailed, super unique. Love to see that. I guess not that unique because they probably produced a whole bunch of these because they appear in so many sets, but it just feels like there's a lot of detail and a lot of stuff going on in the face printing, and you get an alternate face, which I think has to be mentioned, especially with this mask. You can't see any of that minifigure head underneath the wolf mask, so it kind of gets covered up, but I think that's really good that they included that. Torso is really nice with some kind of metallic silver printing in there, lots of fine details, printing on the midsection, printing on the legs, including on the feet, nothing on the arms here. Back has kind of the wolf mask logo type emblem thing at the rear, and then we actually have one more minifigure in this set, so 4 minifigures in this set, and this one is Jordana. So I'm imagining this is maybe one of the antagonists or one of the people that is cooperating with the wolf mask warriors, and maybe cooperating with some of the other figures from the last wave of Dragon's Rising sets. But this is cool. They have a kind of an accessory here using one of these barb pieces, a different color barb piece down here, and the kind of gunmetal gray metallic kind of hilt there, so that's nice. And pretty good hairpiece. It's kind of unique. I like the curl up at the top. The color's very nice. We do have a really great face printing with some extra details which look like either scars or kind of tattoos or scratches or something like that on her face, and you can see we have an alternate face there with a different expression but still has those same kind of details on there, so unique face print. I really like the use of this piece. I can't remember if this is a wreath or if it's something from video. I know I've seen this used for like plants in the green color, I think on the Friends Botanical Garden and different things, but it's kind of a minifigure accessory that can go around the neck and kind of looks like a scarf or fur or something like that. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Mold's pretty good. Production works pretty good on that. I think it adds a lot to this character. Maybe that taking that off can allow you to maybe see some of the extra details that's kind of hard to distinguish there. And then we have a really excellent torso, which has kind of that wolf warrior logo on the front in the center. Tons of detail in this, little bits of writing, super fine lines, dots, metallic printing, different colors. There's a lot going on in this minifigure, so really like to see that. Printing on the midsection, printing on the legs down to the feet, and different than just the standard like wolf warrior kind of things here, so that's very nice to see. Nothing on the arms. Looking at the back, it has the wolf logo on the front, so we don't have that on the back, so we kind of had this tiered armor look with some other stuff, and I think this is a fantastic minifigure. So 4 minifigures in this set. They're all really good, all, you know, leg printing, feet printing, torso, midsection printing, alternate faces on each of them. Accessories are really good. So I'm very happy with those minifigures, and that's true for a lot of the Ninjago minifigures. So really happy to see that continue. And then we do kind of have a side build thing here, like I mentioned, and so we can kind of look at that first, and that is this Wolf Warrior Mech or Wolf Mech. And I was pretty excited about this, and I like it. It's simple. It's not that many pieces, and it's kind of spindly and looks a little different, but it feels like it works well on all 4 legs and also on 2 legs, which I really like for this as a wolf. It feels kind of wolf-like, you know, proportionally. The front legs are kind of thin, see-through here or whatever, but if it's supposed to be like, you know, a maybe robotic kind of or mechanical interpretation of a wolf, I think this works. I think the color scheme is all right. It matches the Wolf Mask Warriors and Jordana here, so that's very good. It does use those mech arm pieces for the arms, but for the legs we use kind of these A plate pieces there, and we have some good articulation here. So this mostly uses like mixel joints. So here and here, here and here. So it can't necessarily bend at the knee, but the knee kind of has this inherent bend because of those kind of A plates there, those angled plates. But we can move kind of the foot kind of at the ankle and the whole leg at the kind of hip or waist area there, which is very nice. We have a couple claws down in the front that can be posed, and I like that they put this, 1x1 plate with the clip on there, which I think adds to some of the stability of this, which is really nice. So you can have maybe the claws, up a little bit, and it just kind of extends the stability of the mech there. And then looking at the torso, we have kind of that mech torso piece here. Would have liked like maybe a wolf version of this dragon tile here print, or something like, I wish this maybe would have had this kind of wolf logo that's on the back. I think that would have been really, really nice. As is, still fits the color scheme, it's just not as cool. So a character can be placed in there, which is good. We have kind of these bigger shoulder pieces that cover up some Nexonite shield, and yeah, these kind of interesting pieces here that has like a 1x2 and then some gaps and a mixel joint ball at the end. We also have some exposed studs there, which is not my favorite. I would have even liked like an ingot in one of these colors to cover that up. But looking at the front paws or claws or hands, we can move at the shoulder, a pretty good range of motion there, and can spin that all around. And we can move at the kind of wrist, and then again we can kind of move the claws a little bit. And so this can get into some poses that work well on 2 feet or also on 4 feet. And I think that's actually kind of important, because when I think of wolves, I think more of on all 4s. So we can put this character in there, and it does look a little bit like they're kind of looking down right now because of how this lays, but with a little imagination you can kind of see their eye line come out a little bit, and we can have like one claw kind of raised up a little bit. Can we get it on maybe 2 feet here, as if it's kind of lunging or something? And there might be a way to do that. But yeah, that's a little precarious, but you can get it so that both of these are off the ground and the other 2 are on the ground. And we can get it so it's standing up on just its hind legs, and that's good. It does have a tail here which can be posed a little bit, that can help with some kind of counterbalance and stuff like that. And overall, I think these mixel joints are sufficient for this, because this is relatively light. It's pretty small, not a ton of pieces. So sometimes mixel joints might not be, or these, the mixel ball joints might not be strong enough to like support the weight of other stuff. So they might just kind of crumble. They might not hold their place. But on this one, I feel like they do a pretty good job actually. And that's a testament to how kind of light and kind of agile this thing appears and looks. There's no rotating waist or hips on this one like there are for the Ninjago ones, but this is ultimately, in my mind, while it's like a villain mech, a villain vehicle kind of thing, a villain accessory, at least I'm interpreting the Wolf Mask Warriors as kind of the antagonist to the Ninjago characters. But so it is kind of a side build thing, but it does feel pretty cool. I like how it looks with the wolf mask sticking out. I like that he uses this piece down here, kind of giving the impression of like fur or something like that. And overall, I think this is pretty cool. I if this was a set on its own, I think I would probably like it, but it would need to be a good amount cheaper. But this feels pretty nice. I think the use of these pieces for the legs is really smart, and overall there's a lot to like here. And I also like sets that come with some built-in play, built-in narrative, and some other stuff here. So I like that Kai's mech has kind of something to maybe do battle with or race with or converse with or whatever they might be doing, interacting with each other. So this is a super solid little side build, smaller kind of thing here. And then the main build is Kai's elemental earth mech. And I've kind of said maybe Cole's was my favorite. I really liked Sora's. And that might be my favorite. And Kai's is really, really good too. Maybe this one's my favorite. So we'll get into kind of going through what has this mech. So this is the elemental fire mech, which leads for some of the kind of like flame orange or ketone orange, I think, is in here. Some of the gold, the red. There might be little hints of like yellow or flamish yellowish orange or whatever. But I think this is really, really great. It's kind of got a mix and combination of stuff that was in Sora's Tech Mech and Cole's Earth Mech. And that's like Cole's mech used these pieces kind of at the knees like this one and the shoulders like this one, but this doesn't feel as like stocky and bulky as Cole's does. So it has kind of the stature and some of the leanness maybe from Sora's. So if you like added these kind of pieces to Sora's mech, maybe that would happen. I do love these kind of molded flame pieces off the back. Those can be kind of positioned, articulated to make have it a slightly different kind of feel. Same with these ones on the side, kind of at the elbow, which I think is a really smart place to put them. And then again, we have these kind of same pieces that were on the knees, kind of up on the shoulder there. So we do have the kind of, cockpit area here that can fit the characters, and I believe, does he sit down in this one? I think so. So we do have kind of some extra stuff up here. It's a little more robust, but you can still see their face there, which is nice. Feels like they have decent protection, all things considered. Like the printed tile here, would have loved that on, or something like that on the wolf mech there. We do have the same kind of waist as Cole's and Sora's, so that's very nice. Let's see if I can get this out there so you can see the waist piece here, which is good. Looking at the legs, they're the same as each other, just reversed. Have kind of used the bigger ball joints here. They have pretty good range of motion. You can lift this up like it's kicking, almost like this is Sparta kicking. You can go pretty far back, get into running pose there. You can see it uses two of those kind of mech arm and legs that don't bend, but we cover up a lot of the gaps, which I think is really smart, using these kind of, I don't ever know what to call these pieces. They have them in like different sizes that are all kind of roughly similar, but those are used well. And, I think this stands tall, but also has some good heft to it and some good bulk to it. I really like the feet on this. I thought I wasn't going to like them, but I ended up really liking them. They have a little bit of a limited range of motion because they have this modified plate with the bar on it. So you can't tilt them back super far. You can't tilt them forward super far either. So a little bit of kind of limited range of motion. At least on the back, you could swap that modified plate out for just a 1x2, and you could probably get some more range there but going forward you don't have a ton, but it's good enough. Like I say, you can get it to the foot being tilted up towards the sky or something there, which I think is pretty good, and they can go back as well. And I just like these feet because they feel kind of unique. They remind me almost of the one mech, I think it was Lloyd and Aaron's mech, the Lloyd mech that could combine together, and I think that one almost had like sandals on it. The mech was like wearing kind of raised platform sandals or something. This doesn't have that exactly, but it feels like it to me. It almost it just feels a little more unique to me, so I really like that. It's very wide, which I appreciate on mechs. It makes it feel very stable, and this can get into some really good poses there because of the waist, because of the legs. So here we have kind of one leg forward, one leg back, and we have the waist a little bit kind of twisted towards where it's going, and I think that's super cool. Can I get this on one leg? Yeah, I can get this on one leg, and it feels not too bad, not super sturdy, but There's definitely ways to do that, so I like that. Running poses look really good. And then, looking at the arms have some differences, although not many. But we already talked about kind of these same pieces that are used on the knees for the shoulder with the flame pieces, have that same kind of bigger ball joint there. So these can be twisted all around. The kind of pauldrons can get out of their own way, or the arm's way, easily enough. So I like that. You could also maybe cover Kai's head with the pauldron there if he needs some extra kind of protection from potentially like a stud shooter or something like that. So I don't know if that was intended or not, but it's certainly cool in my opinion. So I'm happy to see that, and you can probably do it with the other arm as well to have him, give him a little more cover in there. Uses some of the Nexonite shield, some ingots, these kind of same pieces that are used on the legs here. We do have 3 fingers again. Would have liked maybe a thumb or the impression of a thumb. We have a Technic pinhole here, so it could hold a weapon. And the other side very much the same, and we do have kind of the big accessory here, and I really like this accessory. It's got this huge gold, kind of pearl gold blade there, and then it's also got this one, which feels to me like it's backwards, but also not really. I really like this thin gap here and how these kind of have similar angles to them. I think it looks super cool, so love that. I'm not the biggest fan of kind of seeing exposed Technic like this, and I maybe would have liked just some other maybe brown or whatever kind of bushings, or just tube pieces, pin pieces, or something, whatever could go over this, I might have liked, and then stick a stud on the bottom. I think I would have appreciated that a little bit. It's just not my favorite kind of thing here, even though I suppose there's a way that could make it make sense and make it okay. And as far as kind of like slashing and get across body, with Sora's mech, I talked about that, but because of the way this one's made, I feel like you can actually get some pretty good slashing action. Let me just spin this around here, and we can, kind of get the sword to go all the way across, and you could slash up, you could slash down this way, go across like this to block anything, guard. You can certainly slash out, and if you are comfortable switching this around like that, you can slash out this way just with the arm, and then that is added to by the waist rotation or whatever here. So you can really get some nice kind of slashing, blocking, parrying, all that wonderful stuff there. So pretty good range of motion for this, just how the arm is, the shoulder is, and then how this is designed. I feel like it very well gets across, whereas for Sora's, the blade kind of came out straight out of the arm, so you couldn't get that same kind of motion, but with this it really works. So I think that's really nice, and overall I think this has some really fun poses, really fun playability, and some good stuff here. This kind of feels like a step up again, which I said about the Sora mech and the Cole mech, I think above kind of like the Star Wars mechs or the Marvel mechs. This feels like it's kind of a middle ground between some of even the smaller Ninjago mechs I've looked at. There was like a 2-pack of like a Bone Warrior mech with like a Leloid mech or something, and then like the bigger Ninjago mechs like the Combo mech or the Samurai X mech or the Zane mech that I was talking about, those kind of bigger mech sets, which I really appreciate, or the Arens, which was kind of smaller, like the Wolf one, and I think Leloid's bigger one that I also mentioned earlier from the first wave of Dragons Rising. So this feels like a kind of an intermediary step between those other two kinds of mechs, and I think that's really, really smart and really, really great. Like I say, I love when there's kind of story and play inherent to a set, so I really love like 2-packs of speed champions and city vehicles and stuff like that, and I think this is really smart for this set. as well. I think, this one has quite a bit more pieces than the other two, and it's not all just in here. This is probably the biggest. It's got the mix of bulk and height that the other two kind of traded off, the other two being Cole's and Sora's. So I think this makes sense. I'll show the extra pieces, and then we can talk more about the value and the piece count and everything else here. So I do have an extra of the katana. It's interesting, I didn't mention this. There is a spot on the leg for a katana to be held and clipped there. I always appreciate that when they give a spot for minifigure accessories to be, attached to a vehicle or a mech or something like that when they're kind of operating it or occupying the cockpit. So really good there, but we do get, I think, an extra one of those, as well as the one that Kai had over here and the one that Zane had. So there's that. Extra of all three pieces that make up Jordana's accessory there, and then your 1x1 studs, tiles, pins, all of that good stuff. So those are your extra pieces, and this set is 322 pieces and retails for $30. You get 2 mechs and 4 minifigures, really good minifigures, 4 of them. I don't know if Jordana comes in other sets or if they will come in other sets. And you get to then swap out kind of the arms and the legs and maybe the waist with the whole bottom, hips and down with the other mechs like Cole's and Sora's, which is extra fun. So I do have all 3 of those mechs, so now I can kind of swap different parts and stuff like that. But in this set, you also get kind of the smaller side buildy antagonist mech, which doesn't use that many pieces. It's pretty lightweight. It's not like the same quality as substance as kind of the main deal here, but it's definitely not nothing. I don't know if this has 100 pieces in it. It might not. And so Kai's mech might on its own without this have more pieces than Cole's or Sora's. I'm not positive about that, but it could be. So, this one is $10 more expensive than the other ones. The other ones were $20. They had a range from like 209 pieces to I think like 230 or something like that for Cole's. This one has 322, so roughly 100 pieces more, $10 more, but you get 2 more minifigures with some special stuff. You also get the side mech, and you get probably one of the bigger kind of main Ninjago mechs here. Let me actually grab the other 2 so we can look at them side by side. And here is Cole's, which I have it all kind of mangled up right now. But you can see how this one's like stockier, a little bulkier, a little wider at various points. But this one has more height to it. And then looking at Sora's, these are kind of similar in height, but this one feels like it has a lot more girth to it, I would say. So this kind of nice mix combining them both into this. And one of the things you can do is pop the legs off of this and put them over here, take one arm of this one, swap it to this one, take one arm of this one, put it somewhere else, and kind of really have fun and imagine these mechs sort of changing things up to suit whatever their needs are. If there's a place where maybe Cole's mech can't fit, or they need the hammer and the special kind of arms to operate the hammer, but we need it on a different character's mech, you can kind of figure that out. And I really appreciate that. I think that's a good idea. So in another video, I'll probably be looking at all 3 of these, and I'll actually experiment with, switching out some of the parts here and see what I can do and see what I like. So subscribe so you don't miss that. But that was just mostly to kind of compare how much is in this set versus how much is in those $20 sets. And I think it's a substantial amount more. I think $30 for this is pretty fair. I'm glad it's not $35, although I could see them charging $35 for this. I'm glad it's not $40. I think that would be pushing it. I think $30 is really, really fair and consistent when compared to Cole's and Sora's sets that released alongside of it. So that feels really, really good to me. I think this is nice. The minifigure selection is nice. Both of the kind of mechs here are good, and I love that there's kind of interplay with the other sets. So this is a big win for me. I think the value is super fair and makes sense. So that's very good. I like this a lot. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the LEGO videos I'll be doing here in the future, including another video where I kind of swap out some of the different pieces of each of these Ninjago elemental mechs and mix and match all the different parts to create kind of new things. So that'll be coming up in the near future, but also tons of other LEGO sets from all different themes, all different shapes, size, price point, piece count, tons of different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of those upcoming LEGO videos. Subscriptions help me a lot, as do likes, comments, subscribe, like all that stuff really helps, and I very much appreciate it. So thank you very much. If you want to support this channel, you can do that right here on YouTube with membership, supers, and thanks. All of that stuff also really helps me, and it is appreciated. Every little bit helps, so thank you very much. And I have the Patreon, which is in the video description on my channel page, patreon.com/sobricks, and you can get access to some exclusive stuff, get access to my videos early before they're up publicly, and I'm going to keep trying to do special stuff for that, but maybe consider checking those things out. I do appreciate it. I just appreciate anybody that watches, so thank you, thank you, thank you. And with all of that said, until next time, thanks, bye.